Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we will be discussing how to calculate numbers on a potential rental property using the BRRRR strategy. And we will be using and introducing a software that we personally use each and every time we look to figure out whether this is a good or bad deal. That software is called Deal Check. So please stay tuned. It's coming up. Alrighty, and for today's video, we are going to introduce you all to the software that we use to evaluate all of our investment properties. Whether we're doing a fix and flip or a buy and hold, this is the software that we use, and it is called Deal Check. Deal Check is an app that you can actually download on your phone, and it's great because whenever we're doing walkthroughs with potential properties with our contractors, we simply take our phones, and whenever the contractor is giving us real live numbers, we can just plug and play, just plug them in to the actual details of the property so we know what we're working with right there off the gate. Okay, so Deal Check allows you to do just about everything, whether you're looking for just simple rentals, you're buying holds, or you're looking for buy and holds using the BRRRR strategy, which we're going to actually talk about today. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in that in just a moment, or whether or not you're using fix and flips or even wholesales. But for today's video, we're going to be demonstrating to you how to calculate numbers on rental properties using the BRRRR strategy. And what that stands for, that is you buy property and you're looking for a property that needs some love, right? You're looking to add the value to the property. So you're looking to buy it, renovate it, rent it out, refinance it using the cash out option, and then rinse and repeat, which means you're going to use the money that you get on the cash out refinance and repeat the process all over again using that money to purchase your next property. Deal Check calculates all these numbers for you. The very first number that you have to figure out before you can even come up with a renovation budget is how much will this property actually be worth after I fix it up? What is my ARV, my after repair value? Deal Check allows you to go through the entire purchase history of the neighborhood of properties that have sold recently and select which ones are comps for you. That way you know what your after repair value will be. It allows you to do the same thing whenever you're trying to figure out how much rent can you charge in the area. Deal Check does all that for you. It's even going to calculate your NOI, which is your net operating income. It will calculate your cap rate once you have the NOI. And it will also calculate your cash on cash returns. And they do a lot of other calculations, but those are the main ones we're going to focus on. And if you notice on the screen, I have some sample of properties up that we've, just evaluated some in the past. And you notice there's a red X or a green dot. Well, that red X means that this property did not meet our purchase criteria that we set. Those are prerequisites that we like to set for our property so we know if it is a go or a no. All right. And that's what the green dot is for. That means it meets your purchase criteria. So the very first thing you can do before you even bring up the property that you're looking to evaluate is choose what is the most important deciding factors for you. For example, the purchase price. How much are you willing to pay for a property? Well, let's just keep it straightforward. $175,000. Total cash invested. How much are you looking to invest total? Let's say we're not looking to invest any more than $15,000 of our own money. Okay. Also, the big things down here are your cap rate and the cash on cash return. Now, if you don't know what these calculations are, if you hit the question mark right there, it'll actually tell you how the actual calculation is coming into play. Same thing on the cash on cash return. And I'm going to say a good cap rate is usually between 7 and 10%. And cash on cash, we like to be 8 to 10%, somewhere in that ballpark. So we're just going to go with nice round numbers right here. And once you have this preset, we're going to say that, okay, now let's bring in a property that we're looking to evaluate. So now the only thing you have to do is decide which of these 4 strategies you would like to use. We're going to go with the BRRRR. Again, that is because we're looking for properties that need some work that we can add value to in order to do a cash out refinance, to rinse and repeat, so we can keep this thing moving. All right. So you're going to choose the little plus sign. And once you select it, you have some options. You can either import the property data, enter it manually, or copy the property data. I like to just bring it straight from the web. So I'm going to go to import data. As long as you have your property address, then you are good to go. So we're going to go with Roosevelt Avenue, and it's in Macon, Georgia. It's a property that actually recently sold, but we're going to use it as a good example today. Hit the search button. And as you can see, it brings up some good details. It tells you when this property was built in 1962, and it is a multifamily. This property is actually a 4-unit townhome apartment building. All right, so if we click show more details, it says number of floors 2, and then that's about it for the details. But it says that the property value right now is $240,000. That's because it recently sold, but we're going to update these numbers a little bit so you can actually see how the software works. All righty. So if we're good to go there, it tells you all these details. It's going to bring in the nice picture from Zillow as well onto your portfolio, onto your platform. Because at the end of the day, we like to use this software to produce a report that we can send to potential investors and show them where all of their dollars can be going if they invest with us. We simply shoot this report off to a PDF, and I'm going to show you that towards the end of the video as well. And if you like what you see and you're good with everything, you're just simply going to hit that save property button. And now what you have done is you have brought in your property. You have imported that data. And this is just straight numbers from the web. This is going to change as we put in some of our actual renovation budgets. All right. So let's go to detail. If you remember, the first thing I said that you have to figure out whenever it comes to evaluating a property is how much will that property be worth after we fix it up, after we repair it, the ARV. So how do you calculate your ARV in Deal Check? It's really simple. You're going to scroll down to Sales Comps and ARV. Click on that. And what it does, it pulls in recent sales from Zillow, and it tells you how much houses are selling in the area. It pulls in all of these houses in your area that recently sold. And what you can do, you can choose which ones are direct comps that you think will be a good comp to give you good value. So we're going to take off that 37.5, that 134 as well. And then we're just going to go from here and look and see where are some good comps in the area. We're going to leave most of this in here. It's just bringing in a lot of older data. It tells you the dates whenever it's sold. This is actually pretty recent right here, but it's not really. This is more of a single family home, but you can just choose what all you want to actually use. This is a great one right here, that 227. And what happens is if you scroll up, it will actually tell you what it estimates your ARV to be. It can base off of square footage. It tells you what the average sales price is. What we're going to do is we're going to actually say that our ARV, because I want you all to see how the software works, is, let's say, a nice round number of $275,000. And I know that area pretty well, and I know that's pretty close to what this ARV will be for this property. So we're going to say that our ARV is $275,000. Now that we have our ARV, now we are ready to go into our actual budget, our purchase worksheet, and see how much it's going to cost us to purchase this property and renovate it. And we're going to go into great detail here. So I'm going to go into my side menu, and I'm going to choose Purchase Worksheet. Okay. Purchase worksheet, we're going to say that we're dealing with hypotheticals here. We purchased this property. We got a great deal on it, and we got it off the market for $150,000. We actually just bought a property off the market for pretty close to those margins in Macon for around that price as well. So there are great deals out there. And we're saying the ARV is $275,000. So now we know what our budget can be. So now let's talk about how are you going to purchase this property? Are you bringing all the cash yourself, or are you going to use some type of financing to purchase it? We personally use private capital, which are hard money lenders sometimes, to purchase our properties. And how that works is to purchase it, we put it in a 12-month or a 1-year bridge loan. In other words, we do a 1-year bridge loan, interest-only loan that allows us to renovate the property and purchase the property by putting only 10% down with a fixed interest rate for that 1 year of interest only of around 8 to 10%. Right? Interest-only loans can be expensive, but that's why you need to get in and out, because if you're only in this loan for 3 months, then that's more money that you make. And we'll talk about all that in a second. The good thing about the bridge loans that we use with our hard money lenders, our private capital people, not only are they interest only, so that means you're saving money there, but also you have the option to finance your rehab costs inside of that bridge loan. And we can finance up to 100% of our renovation. So if we have a $20,000 renovation budget, we can finance that and include it into the actual purchase of the home. So these are great options to have. And again, Deal Check does this for you because it understands how the BRRRR strategy works. Alrighty. So now let's go into the actual purchase cost. So we're going to hit edit right here. And this is just fill in the blanks type of stuff. This would be different across the board wherever your area is. Inspections here are usually $475 to $500. We'll keep that. Same thing for appraisals. They're usually about $500 as well. We'll keep it about $475. Loan points. Does your lender charge you any loan points? Our lender charges us about 1.5 points, and that's 1.5% of your loan. That's a fee that they charge you for doing the loan with you. On top of that, they may also like to throw in some additional fees. You know, they want to get that money. And then what is your attorney, your closing attorney, and your title company going to charge you at closing? In Macon, we pay around $700 each for those. And are there any transfer tax that you're going to have to pay during the purchase? Maybe so. So we'll just put about $650 for that. All right. So now we have a total purchase cost of $65.25. Deal Check is going to roll all this in for you. We're going to hit that go back button. And now we're ready to go over our rehab costs. So again, remember I told you earlier that Deal Check is an app that you can actually download. So whenever you're walking your property with your contractor, you can start plugging in those numbers that he or she is talking about right onto the app. So you're dealing with real-time numbers. And you can do that by simply hitting the edit button right here. And now we can talk about what needs to be repaired. Your contractor walks the property with you and he says, yeah, you're going to need about, the roof looks decent, but it's going to need some patchwork. So maybe $2,500 for a new roof, patchwork. Exterior siding, yeah, we may need to patch that up as well. There are some dry rotted wood, so another $2,000 there. And we're going to paint the entire exterior of the home as well, right? So we're going to paint the entire exterior of the home, and we're going to say that's about another $3,000. We're going to say the windows look good. Landscaping, we need to freshen this place up. And we're going to spend about $1,500 for some good pine straw and some nice plants to go out there. Interior paint. Do you have to paint the actual interior? Remember, this is a fourplex. This is per building, but you can actually break this down per unit as well. We're going to keep it simple and keep this per building, but just know we could go in and fix this to where we break it down per unit in the building. So we're going to say the overall cost of the interior paint for all the units that need renovation is going to be another $2,000. Flooring, we got to rip up that old carpet, right, and put new carpet down in 2 of the 4 units. So maybe that's another $1,100. The kitchen repair, how much are we looking to put into the kitchen? Remember, this is a rental property, not a fix and flip, so you don't have to have the high quality in appliances or anything like that inside the kitchen, the cabinetry. We're just looking for basic stuff, and we're going to go with another $1,500 for that. Bathrooms, we will need to replace some of the work, some of the flooring in the bathroom, new fixtures, maybe new vanities as well. So maybe another $1,000 for all the bathrooms. The electrical and plumbing, we're going to say is good to go. The appliances, we're going to get some scratch and dent appliances to put in these rental properties. And for 2 of the 4 units that need renovation, let's just say it's going to cost us about $1,600. And that will get you 2 refrigerators and 2 stoves. No dishwashers here. And the HVAC unit, we're going to say it looks good for now. So we're right at $14,600 for renovations. You know what? Let's say the HVAC needs some maintenance work. Let's go with $400. So now we're right at $16,600. So if you notice, that number changed much higher. And I want to explain to you why it went a little bit higher than what you would have thought it to. Because I have a cost overrun set at 10%. The cost overrun is to protect you for if you underestimated something in your budget. So I'm saying add an extra 10% of whatever my budget is. If it's $15,000, I need you to add an extra 10% to that. You can change this cost overrun to whatever you feel comfortable with. We usually keep it between 10 and 20%, to be honest with you. That's the number we like to keep it at. Holding period. So what is the holding period? Look, I'm using this question mark. It simply says the amount of time it will take to rehab the property. Obviously, the quicker you rehab it, the more money you're going to save on this interest-only loan that you're paying, because we remember our exit strategy is to cash out refinance to get into a long-term loan. We're going to say we're looking to have this thing up and running in 3 months. That's going to reflect on your report. Now, let's talk about the financing, the refinance, or your exit strategy out of the bridge loan, the purchase loan. We need to exit out of that because that's not a long-term strategy. That's just designed to get you the property and get it renovated. But once you have it renovated, you have to exit out of that loan into a long-term loan, and that's where the refinance comes in. All right, so we're going to look to refinance after that 3rd month, but we'll give it an extra. It usually takes about 30 days or so to go through. So we're going to say 4 months. Now, what's your amortization type? Are you going to do a 30-year term mortgage straight amortization, or are you going to do maybe a 10-year interest only? We like to start it off with an interest only just so we can capitalize on our cash flow, make more money on the back end. Now it's saying, do you want to custom a custom loan amount? We're going to say no. We're going to be straightforward. We're going to go with, on our cash out refinance, we're going to say that our lender is going to give us 80% LTV, which will leave 20% of ARV left, equity in your home, and at an interest rate of 4.9%. Now, those are the real numbers I'm dealing with right there, 4.9%. Now we have our financing straightened out. That is our exit strategy, aka exit strategy. Now let's talk about the refinance cost, because you and I both know it's not free to refinance a loan. So we can click in there and we will say how much it will cost to refinance this loan with your lender. Well, there's not going to be an inspection. There will be an inspection. An inspection, maybe not. And then an appraisal. Definitely will be an appraisal to figure out what your actual ARV, how close you were with that. Does your lender charge you any points for your refinance? Let's just say, yeah, that charges 1 point, and then on top of that, an additional $1,200 in fees. I'm just throwing those numbers out there because it's going to be something. The lender's not just going to give you this loan for free. And again, we're going to keep title and escrow fees as well as your attorney fees pretty standard at $700 in this area. Transfer taxes, again, let's just put $500. It may not apply here since it's a refinance and we currently already own the property, but we'll put $500 there. So our actual refinance costs are going to be $5,750. So Deal Check is taking all these numbers into consideration for you, and it's going to roll it all back into your report. I'll hit the back button. So now let's talk about the actual rental income, right? So we're saying that this property is bringing in about $1,920 per month. You can edit that if you like. And we're actually going to edit that because we're going to say that this is, remember, it's not a 2 unit, it's not a duplex. This is actually a 4-plex. It's residential. Anything under 4 units is still considered residential. Once you get into 5 units, then that becomes commercial. All right, you can label the units however you want to, but each one of these units is a 2-bed, one bath, and they're approximately 820 square feet each. The gross rent per unit per month, we're going to say it's about $750 in this area. Pretty cheap living in Macon in this area. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit go back. And now I'm going to be making about $3,000 per month on this one building, the 4 units in this building. So when it comes to the rental income, you want to make sure that you are putting aside some of that monthly income for vacancy. The reason why we love multifamilies properties is because if I have a 4-unit property and one person decides to move out, then I have just a 25% vacancy or a 75% occupancy. However, if you have a single family home and one person decides to move out, you have 100% vacancy and a 0% occupancy. So we absolutely love multifamilies just for that reason right there. We're going to say that we're going to pack in or just put away about 10% or so for our actual vacancy. Now let's talk about our other expenses, our operating expenses. Now, if you had any other income, you can add it in here. For example, if you charge them for trash, or if you had a laundry room, you can put in laundry income. Whatever other income, if you had, you can put that dollar amount here per month. All right, now let's dive into the rental side for the operating expenses. How much is it going to cost you per month to actually run this property? Well, the property taxes in the area is saying it's about $2,904. Insurance is actually pretty expensive because it's a liability with 4 units, so it's close to about $2,300. Our property management company charges us about 8%. And again, we choose to hire a property management company because I do not want to be anybody's landlord. Okay. And trust me, you do not want to be anybody's landlord either. The property management company has to handle all of that for you. All right, maintenance. What is the actual maintenance cost of the building? We're going to keep it about 10% as well. And capital expenditures, for example, if you have to purchase other things like a refrigerator or anything like that, how much is that going to cost you each month? All right, so we're going to say that there is no HOA. Utilities for the month, because we factor it into rent a lot of times, we're going to say that it's about $250 for utilities. Landscaping to mow the yard, the grass is about $85 per month. All right, now that we have that, we're going to hit the go back button. And then it gets into long-term projections. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit more on the actual report. But what we have done is actually gone through the process and we have evaluated this property. Now it's time for us to see if this deal is a go or if it's a no. And we can do that by pushing it out to a report. So I'm going to come over here to my side menu and I'm going to scroll all the way down to reports and sharing. I'm going to click that button right there. And I have some options here. I can actually send the link for this particular report to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or whatever else you want to do right here. What we like to do is you can either download it right now to PDF or view it. We like to save these reports, and this is how we send the reports to our investors so they know where they're putting their money into. And you'll see how professional these reports look. We can bring in our logo as well as our business information on the report. So we're going to hit the view button. And right away, once that decides to open up, it's creating the report right now. Once that decides to open up, it shows the property address and instantly it says your purchase price, your ARV, and then your purchase criteria that you entered in. The cash needed to purchase this property was $19,500. Our monthly cash flow after everything, after we pay our expenses, and we save money by putting back for vacancy, capital expenditures, maintenance, and all that good stuff, is about $341 per month. Again, if you needed more cash flow, you can always decrease the amount that you're saving with vacancy and capital expenditures and maintenance if you don't think it's going to be that much. I like to actually evaluate high, and then so that way if we figure out that we don't need that much money to put back in, then we can cut back on that. Our cap rate, remember, we like for that number to be between 8 and 10%. And look at our cash on cash. It says infinity. That's because the cash on cash return is your yearly cash flow divided by your total invested cash. And what you're going to see is on the cash out refinance, because our ARV is listed at $275,000, we made a lot of money on the cash out refinance. So we didn't have as a simple percentage. We actually had an infinite amount of number because we made money, so much money on the actual cash out refinance. So that's why that says infinity right there. But if we scroll down, again, this looks professional. It puts in your business logo, your business address, and then it even imports in the property picture from the website. This is pulled from Zillow. And if you keep scrolling, you will notice the property description. All of this is pulled in. We updated that. So it's a 4-unit building. Each unit is a 2-bed, 1-bath, approximately 820 square feet, $750 per month in rent. So if we keep scrolling, now we get into our purchase and rehab analysis. Deal Check breaks all this down for you. It tells you what you put down, your down payment, plus your purchase cost. That's where that $19,500 came in. We said our ARV was $275, and it breaks it down what that is price per unit. That's a great, great deal right there. On the financing purchase cost, it breaks it down as well. It puts all these numbers out there. Your loan payments, which are interest only for that first year until you can actually refinance out of it using that exit strategy that we talked about, is $1037. So it's expensive. So you want to get in and out of there as soon as possible, right? It breaks down our purchase costs, what we put in for the purchase costs. We even finance all of our we finance all of our actual renovation costs as well. So assumptions and projections. Remember, we said our holding period is only 3 months because our goal is to get in and out because we don't want to pay that amount too often right there. We want to get in and out as quick as possible. Then it breaks down everything for us that we talked about. Your holding costs. And now it jumps into our rehab costs. So if you don't want to show your investors all of this, you can pick and choose which which pages on the report you actually display as well. So keep that in mind. But overall, this is what our total rehab budget is, $18,260 because we have a 10% cost overrun. And if we keep scrolling, now this is the refinance. Remember, the refinance is the exit strategy that we talked about. That's how you get out of that interest-only bridge loan and you get into a long-term loan. And if you look in it, we said that the refi loan amount is going to be $220,000. That's where it's factoring everything added in plus your fees. Your purchase loan repayment, we have to pay back what we owe the lender, $155,000. Our cash out refinance is $54,974. Right? So think about that. This number is actually tax-free. The reason why a cash out refinance is tax-free because you cannot get taxed on debt. So that means we initially put $19,500 in, but our cash out refinance, we make nearly $55,000. So our total cash invested is negative $35,474. That's why earlier our cash on cash return is listed as infinity because it is a negative number, which means you're making money on the actual cash out refinance. If that number was not and we were losing some money on it, then you would get a percentage here. All right. So that's why we love the BRRRR strategy, because what we do now is take this $35,000 that we made on this property, tax-free, because that's our invested cash, $19,500. So I subtract $54,000 minus the $19,500, and it gives me the $35,000. We actually do not take a salary from this number. We use this number right here, this dollar amount, and we reinvest that back into our business so we can continue to build capital to purchase more properties. We actually take a salary only from our rental income. That's where our salary comes into play. All right. So if you keep scrolling just a little bit longer, it will actually get into some of the cash flow and then your projections, your buy and hold projections. And this is the numbers that your long-term investors really like to see once you get to that stage. A lot of you all that's watching this video, you're probably just going to be looking to buy and hold something for yourself. So this is just something that you can keep and put in your back pocket so you know what these numbers are. Alrighty, so that is pretty much it. That is how you calculate the numbers on a rental property using the BRRRR strategy. I absolutely hope you all got something out of this video today. We're actually going to do another video just like this, but we're going to show you how to calculate the numbers on a fix and flip property. So please stay tuned for that, because remember, our ultimate goal here with Success Finances is to share the knowledge, spread the wealth, and ultimately help you build a legacy, one investment at a time. Talk to y'all soon. Stay blessed. Bye. And there you have it, how to calculate numbers on a rental property using the Deal Check software. So do me a favor, if you got anything at all out of this video, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you get notified when we put out brand new content just like this. We really do appreciate the support. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you. Bye.